We tag her with our 3, we hit her with our 1, we activate her 2, she applies a heal. Picking up a corpse, that's going to reduce our cooldowns. We're going to cast our ultimate, get her to run, she uses her ultimate. We're going to use a basic. Tag her with her 3. Goodbye, Aphrodite. And we're going to dance on her because she tried to zone us from wave. What a do, skibbity boo, it's your boy Shawnee B Gaming, and today we have a viewer request to play Puch in middle. If you are new to the channel, I upload every single day. I add some commentary to a game that I've already played with the intention of seeing what went right, what went wrong, and hopefully there's something that we can learn together. If there is something that we learn together, make sure you check out the channel and subscribe for more content. If you are a returning viewer, Puch has no mobility, so you gotta play him very careful. I feel like he fits in middle of the bunch in terms of mages and mid lane in this current meta. He's alright, he's not bad, he's not great, but he can do some things pretty well. We are rocking the Freaky Tiki skin, which we received from our Odyssey chest opening video. So let's go ahead and jump into Puch's kit. Puch's 1, Undead Surge. Puch raises up 2 decaying corpses from the underworld that surge forward, exploding on anything that they touch. When they reach the maximum distance or whenever Puch reactivates Undead Surge, dealing the damage and slowing targets hit. Enemies hit also have their healing reduced by 40% for 5 seconds. After the explosion, 2 corpses will remain. The slow is going to be 20% at level 1 and 40% at level 5. Puch's 2, Corpse Explosion. Puch causes the target area to explode, dealing damage. Corpse Explosion also causes any decaying corpses in the area to explode. So there's going to be initial damage and then there's going to be damage per corpse. The more corpse in the area, the larger the damage. Puch's 3, Fleeting Breath. Puch throws a charm from the underworld which awakens a decaying corpse that applies miasma to targets in the area and falls to the ground, remaining behind. Targets take damage every second. After the duration, targets take additional damage and are stunned if they were healed by an ability during the initial duration. The stun will apply if the target takes a heal, and it's going to last for 1.5 seconds. The ticks are going to last for 4 seconds, and then the additional damage is going to happen if the target was healed. Puch's ultimate, Empty the Crypts. Puch unleashes an army of wraiths from the underworld that swarm forward and reduce healing and deal damage to enemies that they collide with. The healing reduction is going to be 20% per stack. It can stack up to 3 times. The ultimate duration is 5 seconds. And finally, Puch's passive, Hollow Ground. Puch is closely attuned with the dead and may exhume corpses at his will. When walking over a decaying corpse, Puch lowers the cooldown every 1 and 2 by 2 seconds, restoring 5% of his maximum health and 3% of his maximum mana. In terms of the leveling order, at level 1, we want to put a point into our 3, level 2, put a point into our 1, level 3, put a point into our 2, then we want to max out our 3, max out our ultimate, max out our 1, and max out our 2. We are fighting into an Aphrodite in the mid lane, and this is actually an excellent fight for us because our 3 is going to stun her, deal some additional damage. Oh, if she didn't beat that, we probably would have gotten the pick onto her. Puch is a little mana hungry in the early game. The reason we are maxing out our 3 first is it just does more damage. Doesn't hit all the minions, but it does more damage. Puch kind of suffers from what I call Sir Nuno syndrome, where your main damaging ability has to be cast between the wave. You can't just shoot it in a line attack. You got to kind of angle it from the side. We get our 3 onto the Aphrodite. She's about to be stunned. We activate our 1, detonate, and we're able to get the pick onto the Aphrodite. In terms of the build, we left Fountain with Mage's Blessing, the tier 1 of Doom Orb, 2 health potions, and 3 mana potions. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the corpse, hit her with the 3, should stun her. Oh, looks like she healed before our 3 hit her. We almost have enough money for boots. Since Puch can heal from picking up corpses, we're not going to be going into lifesteal boots. Instead, we're going to be going into cooldown boots. take a little bit of damage from Afro, not too much of an issue. Right now we're playing pretty conservative, so that way we can stay in lane, keep our mana up.
I need the jungle buff.
It probably would have been worth picking up that corpse right there. We're going to go ahead and start on the wave, or on the camp. We're just using one ability because Thanatos is going to be able to clear this wave really easily, or this camp really easily. Ravana can give us issues. He can ult in on us, and then we have no dash. So if he really tries to chase us down, he could probably get us. We really need to worry about our positioning with Puch. So we're going to go ahead and back. We're going to pick up the cooldown boots, pick up some more mana pots, and then head back to lane.
Be right back.
If you look at Puch's passive icon, there are 6 heads, which represent the 6 corpses he can have out on the field. When we cast our 1 or our 3, then the head is going to light up, and then that means we have 1 of 6 out on the field. Afro gets a little bit of damage on us, no issue. We're gonna go ahead and set up our ward, fall back a little bit. We miss our 3, we're in a little bit of trouble. We walk into her heal, that's gonna chunk us. We're gonna go ahead and cast our 1 into the wall. Whenever we pick up a corpse, it's gonna reduce the cooldown of our 1 by 2 seconds. After gets some more damage on us, we're going to pop a health potion. Throw out our 3. It would have been nice to hit the Aphrodite with the minion wave, but unfortunately we miss. We're in trouble. We're going to use our Aegis. We're going to use our ultimate, kind of scare him off of us. And we're going to go ahead and have to back right here. Oh, Thanatos is chunking. We're going to help Thanatos out a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and back now that we've cleared the wave. We didn't want to miss that gold or XP.
Watch. We must impress them.
Thanatos skipped our red buff, so we're probably going to have to drop that ourselves in a few minutes. Go ahead and full clear. We're going to let them know that Aphrodite's missing mid and that they should retreat left. It looks like Thanatos is going to be rotating to red, so we were going to hit one more wave and then go for it. We hit Afro with our 3. She does not heal, so she does not take the stun. Thanatos dropped a red. We should have just been there. That's a little bit of a misplay by us. We missed out on some golden XP. We're going to go ahead and go pick up the red buff. That's going to increase our magical power. Yorm has rotated in. He's going to be a little bit tankier than Aphrodite, and we're not going to be able to stun him unless Afro heals him. Now that Afro is linked to the Yorm, she is 20% faster, which is going to make it a little bit harder to hit her with our 3. Bit of a team fight going on in right. We're kind of stuck here in mid. Afro's trying to zone us, which is super annoying.
Enemy missing left.
While they are frail, one by one, they all
We tag her with our 3, we hit her with our 1, we activate her 2. She applies a heal. Picking up a corpse, that's going to reduce our cooldowns. We're going to cast our ultimate, get her to run. She uses her ultimate. We're going to use a basic. Attack her with a 3. Goodbye, Aphrodite. And we're going to dance on her because she tried to zone us from wave.
Your right tower is under attack.
Thanatos is invading red. We're going to rotate in there with them. We're not going to pick it up. We're going to play it safe. Just clear the minion wave. Ravana's on the Ares. We're going to go ahead and just fall back though. It's not a good fight for us. We're going to go ahead and pick up our red buff, and we should have enough money for Doom Orb. We throw out our 3. We're kind of low on mana. We don't have any potions.
Your right tower is under attack.
We're going to go ahead and fall back.
Retreat!
Please. Your middle tower is under attack. Please. Your left tower is under attack.
We miss our 3, which is super unfortunate. I feel like if we were landing all of these 3s on Aphrodite, we would really be able to poke her out, even with her heals. We're going to go ahead and back because we don't have the mana, and we also have enough money for Doom Orb. Doom Orb is going to provide us 145 power, 200 mana, 20 MP5, and 6% movement speed. It has a passive that killing or assisting an enemy minion will provide us with 1 stack, granting 1% movement speed and 4 magical power per stack. Stacks last for 15 seconds and can stack up to 5 times. Enemy gods will provide 5 stacks. So this game I feel like we're playing the lane pretty well, but we're not really rotating to get jungle camps well. So that is definitely something we can improve. After you clear wave, you want to rotate into the jungle and clear a camp. This will maximize your XP and gold gain. We get a little bit of tickle damage onto the Yorm. Not too much to make us really try to engage with them. Looks like Afro is rotating in. We're going to go ahead and clear this wave. Ares is able to get the pick onto the Yorm. We're going to go ahead and cast our ultimate, give Ares a little bit of heal. Unfortunately, it was not enough. Thanatos is able to get the pick onto the Ravana. We get some good damage onto the Aphrodite. She gets stunned because she healed during our 3. We hit her with our 3, hit her with basic. Ooh, and Thanatos has got the long shot. He's able to get the pick onto the Afro. We're going to go ahead and rotate to the red buff. We see Thanatos ulting left, so we're going to rotate there with him. We cast our 1, we missed that, we hit him with our 3. And Thanatos is able to clean up the Apollo. I feel like we did a little bit of damage, but Thanatos did a majority of that. We're going to rotate back mid so we can get this golden XP. Now we want to rotate to our red buff. We hear the Yorm nearby. He sticks on us, gets a little bit of damage onto us. We use our Aegis just to avoid a lot of that damage. We would probably be in yellow health if we did not. Ares uses his ultimate. Yorm uses his ultimate to get CC immunity. It looks like Afro used her beads. I didn't see her use her ultimate. We're really just hanging out in the back line, trying to avoid the front line, the majority of the damage as much as possible. Thanatos says attack mid. We're going to cast our 1, that's going to apply as slow. We're going to go ahead and detonate it. Afro uses her ultimate. We're going to cast our 3, that's going to stick to her. She uses her heal, but after our 3. Right now we have 5 stacks on our Doom Orb, so that's going to be an additional 20 power and 5% movement speed. We're just hanging back. Apollo is flying around in the air. We see him. I don't think we saw him in the in-game. We cast our ultimate, but unfortunately we go down. Apollo ults behind us, stuns us, and then the Afro and Yorm are just able to follow up with damage. Whenever that happened while I was playing, I jumped. I did not expect that Apollo ult at all, but watching it back, I was able to see him in the sky and also on the minimap. So we do have 40% anti-heal on our 1 and up to 60% on our ultimate. If we play it just right, that could potentially be 100% anti-heal, but we're going to go ahead and pick up Divine Ruin to help us out. Divine Ruin with our 1 is going to put them at 80% anti-heal.
Your middle tower is under attack.
So far, we've only been able to get a pick on Aphrodite twice, but I feel like we're doing a lot of setup. And we just kind of counter Aphrodite, which is really nice. Not a whole lot of characters counter healers. Puch is one of them. She's about to be stunned. We're going to fall back because Ravana's here. Bit of a fight going on in right jungle. We're going to rotate in, see if we can help out. Ares uses his ultimate. We throw our 3, throw our 1, detonate it. We're going to come back in. We're going to use our ultimate. We don't really want to run into jungle and try to fight. It looks like we're getting pinged. Nope, that's the Ares that was getting pinged. Puch does not excel in the jungle, especially whenever he's coming in like mid-fight. Right here is a bad spot for us. We're kind of in the front line. We use our beads. We still have our Aegis. We cast our 3. Yorm comes in. Yorm comes in again. Fire Giant tick, and they're able to get the pick on us. So we really should have fallen back behind our tier 1 tower and come into jungle that way. That would have put us in the back line and put us in a much safer position to cast abilities. Coming in where we did put us right in the middle of the fight, so we were in the front line, and that's not where we want to be with Puch. So we're going to go ahead and pick up Divine Ruin. Divine Ruin is going to provide us 90 magical power and 10 flat penetration. As a passive, that enemies hit by an ability are going to have 40% reduced healing and regeneration for 8 seconds. So we see the Afro, and we're like, alright, it's time for Divine Ruin. We do have some anti-heal in our kit, but it'd be nice to kind of double down on that. Take our 1 up to 80% anti-heal. Take our 2 and 3 to 40% anti-heal. And if we ult Afro and she takes 3 ticks of damage from her ultimate, and we have Divine Ruin, she has 100% anti-heal. We cast our 3, cast our 1, cast our 2, get some good damage. We decide to fall back and clear the minion wave, but if we would have just stayed with Ares, we probably would have gotten the pick onto the Aphrodite. We could have cast our ultimate. So that was a little bit of a misplay by us. If you see an Ares running in and ulting, follow him up. Don't worry about the minion wave. Afro does have a level on us. I feel like she's hit camps a little bit better than we have. We set up a ward in right and in left. We really are doing a bad job of hitting camps. I don't think we've hit our small harpy once. Or a single harpy, I should say. Enemy is on the Gold Fury. You're going to rotate in. Apollo's able to get an ult off and get a pick onto the Apollo on the enemy team. We cast some abilities. We're going to keep falling back. We want to be in the back line, not near the front line at all. We throw our 3 out, throw our ultimate out, create a no play zone for the enemy team. Thanatos lands in, is able to get the pick onto 1, get the pick onto another. This Bellona's here. We're just going to try to get some basics onto her. She ults away. Just chasing the Ares. Ares is able to get the pick onto the Bellona. We're going to throw out our 1. Get a 40% slow onto the Aphrodite. And that is a D side. We should go for an objective right here. The enemy Apollo is up, so there's a good chance he could just ult in. When attacking the Gold Fury, we're going to just get some corpses set up on it. So for our final burst of damage, we can activate our 2 and blow up 6 corpses. We hear the enemy Apollo overhead. He lands onto us, not the Gold Fury. We miss our 3 because he dashes. We're going to go ahead and pick up a corpse. Yorm is now here. It's a bad fight around the Gold Fury. We're going to cast our 1, get a slow onto the Apollo. Apollo's in a bit of a bad spot. We're going to go ahead and use our ultimate, create a no play zone. Ravana jumps away from our 3. We hit Apollo with our 1. Detonate the corpses. We're trying to eyeball this Apollo. We're quickly falling into the front line, which is not where we want to be. We're going to try to wiggle out of here, but unfortunately we go down. So we just overstepped a little bit too far right there in the jungle. We really want to make sure that nobody is behind us or kind of to the side of us. We need to be the furthest back. After going into Divine Ruin, we're going to be going into Charon's coin. Charon's coin is going to provide us some more movement speed. It's also going to give us some % penetration.
On my way.
Right now we only have flat penetration coming from Divine Ruin. The difference between flat and %, let's say that the enemy has 50 magical protections. The flat 10 is going to make it to where we deal damage to them as if they only had 40 magical protections. If we have 10% penetration, then that is going to make it to where we deal damage as if they had 45 magical protections. So flat pen is a little bit better in the early game and whenever the target has lower amounts of protections, but the % pen is great for tanks and solos in the late game whenever they have plenty of protections. Bit of a team fight going on in the right jungle. We're going to go ahead and work on the Pyromancer with the Thanatos. We do have our ultimate. He's using his ultimate.
On my way.
Looks like he missed. Ares uses his ultimate. We're going to cast our 3, get the damage onto the Aphrodite. We're going to go ahead and cast our ultimate. That's applying 20% per tick of anti-heal. Right now we're not in the best position, but I don't think there's anyone from the enemy team coming in behind us. Apollo dashes in. We want to run. Aphrodite is able to get the pick. We cast our 1 onto the Yorm, but he uses his ultimate. It's just Ares and myself versus the Apollo. Not the Apollo, the Aphrodite and the Yorm. I think the safe play is to fall back. We cast our 3. Get some tick damage onto the Yorm. Missing a lot of 3s in this late game. We get our 3 onto the Aphrodite. She does not heal, so there's not going to be any stun. The general combination of abilities cast with Puch is throw your 3 out, and then throw your 1 out, then your 2. Or you could do the 2, 3, then 1. But sometimes the minions will body block your 1, so I find it more reliable to throw your 3 out. That's also a majority of your damage. We're going to fall back. We do not want a balloon on us. We go ahead and use our ultimate, which we probably did not need to do because we had peel from Thanatos and Ares coming in. Cast our 1, cast our 3, detonate. Ares uses his ultimate. Unfortunately, we are on cooldown. Somehow he pulls nobody right there. We push our buttons. That's 3 down for the enemy team. We're going to come in, see if we can get the 3 onto the Afro. We do not. We cast the 1, then the 2. We're able to get the pick onto the Aphrodite. That's a full DSI. We could really push it right here. That's the middle Phoenix. 15 seconds, we can end right here. Love that. Our second DSI, and we're able to end the game. Well, that's going to be the end of this one. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you feel like you learned anything at all, check out the channel and subscribe for more content. These stats for this game will be posted in just a moment. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.